This is Fieldsports Channel News. Police say they're not going to charge a gamekeeper for shooting buzzards because they can't identify him. The RSPB filmed the gamekeeper on an unnamed estate in North Yorkshire. The RSPB says the keeper was shooting buzzards and the decoy was a live owl, but it filmed the man at a distance of 3 miles, so police only have the RSPB's word for it. They decided not to take it. Meanwhile, BBC celebrity Chris Packham says all gamekeepers are criminals because they're all tarred with the same brush as keepers who break the law. In a tweet, he said law-abiding keepers need to sort out their criminal colleagues. The National Trust is under fire for culling a herd of fallow deer. The organisation allowed the herd at Dereham Park near Bath to reach 200 animals. An outbreak of bovine TB led to all the animals being shot. Local deer managers say the correct size of the herd, given available browse, is around 70. As the League Against Cruel Sports experiments with its Exmoor Deer Sanctuary show, concentrating large number of deer is a really good way to spread bovine TB. As well as its deer failures, the National Trust does not allow badger culling on its land. The Scottish Gamekeepers Association is calling on people to sign its Rural Workers Protest petition. The SGA is collecting names on its website that it will share with the Scottish Government and politicians after its online protest on Friday, the 19th of March, not the 14th of March, as we said in last week's show. The association says rural workers are overlooked when politicians in Edinburgh are making laws that affect them, and the system needs to change. It points out that the Scottish Green Party wields far too much influence for an organisation that represents less than 1% of the constituency vote. Fish Legal and the Angling Trust are taking DEFRA and the Environment Agency to court over river pollution for a second time. Together with the WWF, the anglers accuse the government of dragging its feet on tackling agricultural pollution of England's rivers, streams and lakes. In a statement on its website, the Trust says the most vulnerable waters are those protected in law, such as sites of special scientific interest and special areas of conservation. The case originally went to court in 2015 because of pollution in water protection zones.
In England and Wales, there are big failures. Wales is slightly further behind, but it's doing very little apart from denying there's a problem.
An animal welfare group backed by the PM's fiancée, Carrie Simons, claims that fish are suffering. The Conservative Animal Welfare Foundation argues that the welfare of fish has not been given the same attention as other animals, and their mental well-being should be protected. The group says the portrayal of fish as stupid and unsophisticated has stopped this from happening, according to the Daily Mail. The fish welfare study particularly takes aim at commercial fish farms and types of trawling. Ferret owners have been asked to be vigilant after thefts in Kent. 4 ferrets are missing from a house in Ashford. The disappearance comes days after 30 ferrets were taken from an animal rescue centre in Polehill Lane, Harwich last Wednesday night. Another 2 ferrets were reported stolen on February the 16th. Kent police are appealing for information, calling them directly or anonymously on Crime Stoppers. Butcher's shop, the Ginger Pig, has been hit by vegan vandals. A post on Unoffensive Animal website celebrates the smashing of a window as the rich slept contentedly in nearby flats. The culprits also bragged that not even the police can shield you from whatever is coming your way, without elaborating. The menacing post also calls for destruction to all who hold commodities above life. Wildfowlers from across Northern Ireland have come together for a conservation effort. The Loch Beg Conservation Project aimed to raise £600 to build 50 wooden nest tubes for local duck. In the end, it raised nearly £2,500 plus donations of materials, and as a result, it built 100 more permanent metal nest tubes padded with hay, plus traps for vermin, with £400 left over to donate to local charities. It brought together dozens of shooters from both Loch Beg and neighbouring Loch Ness. An African tribe plans to take European animal rights groups to the International Court of Justice for violating its rights. The Makua tribe of northeastern South Africa wants to take Western animal rights organisations and CITES to the United Nations top court for violating the rights of indigenous tribes to manage their own wildlife resources. The Makua tribe is attracting interest from other communities, governments, NGOs and politicians in what will be the first class action on woke neo-colonialism. Thanks to Richard Walton for that story and to Jens Hoag for posting this video from ZBC. Animal rights extremists have shut down a racecourse and a vaccination site. Protesters locked themselves together on the Golden Gate Fields racing track in California, cancelling horse races and closing the vaccination clinic in the track's parking area for about 3 hours as well. Police cautioned them for trespass and released them. The group, called Direct Action Everywhere, claimed responsibility. And finally, researchers say releasing 100 mutant squirrels will help reduce the population. Squirrels that have been genetically modified to spread infertility genes could be released into the wild to bring down grey numbers, according to a study at the University of Edinburgh. The Telegraph newspaper says DEFRA is looking at options for controlling grey squirrels, including culls and contraceptives. The study, published in the journal Scientific Reports, found that releasing just 100 mutated squirrels into a population of 3,000 would wipe out the population in 15 years. Meanwhile, TV presenter Jeremy Paxman is defending his tactic of shooting greys while sitting on the loo. The University Challenge host calls them a menace and annoying because they scare away songbirds. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.